First Trades, presented by BSC, Investors Protection Fund.
Hello, welcome back. You're watching First Trades on Bloomberg TV India. That's the setup that we're looking at. Sensex 0.5%, Nifty 0.6% higher. All right, to get us some more market perspective, Nishal Maheshwari, Head of Wholesale Capital Markets Research at Edelweiss Financial Services, joining us this morning. Nishal, morning. The last time I remember when we spoke, you were in New York back then for your roadshow, and it was just a couple of weeks before the earnings season actually kick-started. How does it look right now when we talk about some of the major earnings already out? Your sense on the earnings so far?
I think, Priyank, they are as per expected. I was expecting a much weaker outlook as far as the first quarter was concerned. But I think most of the companies are sort of hanging in there, and the earnings are not as bad as people were expecting on the street. So I think it is more or less as per expectation, not much worse.
Still, so I mean, the biggest, of course, pleasant surprise this time has been technology, and it's coming from all the four companies now. What is your view now that we've seen the numbers?
I think all the companies across the street, across the sector, basically, they are saying that there is a definite revival as far as US is concerned, and that means discretionary spending is coming back in the US in a big way. So outlook looks quite interesting and positive. Most of the companies have been giving positive guidance. If you look at it, Wipro has given a guidance for next quarter at 2 to 4% increase. So I think that's quite positive. I see definitely upgrades coming in, not in 14 numbers, but definitely I see a 15 numbers upgrade coming in most of these companies.
Nishal, I'm sorry about that audio disturbance. I think there could be a mobile phone somewhere around there. So we'll request Nishal to just take care of that so we can get a clearer audio. Just a reminder that in the pre-open markets, we're actually in step with most of the Asian markets, and we're looking at a 0.5% gain coming in right now on the benchmark indices. The rupee has been the bigger concern this morning. Once again, the opening on the currency has been on the weaker side. Let's pull up the dollar rupee. It was lower by about 0.5% last time we checked. Let's see. Yeah, still weak levels there. 60.75 on the currency. That is a bit of a problem. Let's see if we can go back to Nishal. Nishal, very quickly, we're running into the opening now. What about banks? Earnings there still look a little patchy, don't they?
Yes, especially on the PSU side, it's been very, I would say, much below expectations. But in case of a private sector bank, I think more or less everybody has come out with the numbers which the street was expecting. Obviously, there has been concerns on what RBI has done, especially to hike the short-term interest rates, and I think people are expecting that there is going to be some reversals as far as earnings are concerned in the coming quarters, and that's why you see the prices of most of these banks coming down. But otherwise also the sector is pretty over-owned. Everybody seems to be owning banks, and that's why the profit taking is there in the banking sector.
All right, Nishal, just hold that thought. 4 odd seconds left for the markets to just kickstart live trading. You want to keep your eyes on a couple of telecom stocks. Bharti, remember yesterday, has shot up around about 7%. So let's see how that one opens up in trade. All right, the opening move, 114 odd higher, is what we're actually seeing in terms of the index so far. 114 to 130 odd point higher. You got Bharti up around about 1.2%. Coal India is in positive as well, is what we're seeing. 1.2% gains coming in on that particular counter so far. Reliance Industries has managed to come back a little bit, 1% gain coming in on that particular counter. ONGC also on the positive, 1.5% gain, a good decent move as far as ONGC is concerned. Hindalco, M&M, Sterlite all showing some decent performance right now is what we are actually seeing. Bajaj Auto also on the higher side in terms of opening moves, 1% there, good decent gains. ICICI Bank, 1.5% up move coming on that particular company. Remember, the bank had actually posted the numbers yesterday is what we've seen. HUL and ITC both losing out in trade. In fact, take a look at the HUL price, 609. It's come back, 610 is where it's actually trading at, pretty close to that open offer price that the company had announced. ITC also down by almost 0.8% is what we're seeing. Let's pull out the Nifty and get a quick mention there as well as to what's really happening in terms of that particular index. You got Nifty high by around about 39 to 40 points. 40 stocks gaining, 10 to 9 stocks losing out is what we're seeing so far. Individual names are on the move on the index there. Kane is having a decent move, 3.5% gain on that one. GAIL is up by around about 3% as well. Ambuja Cement, 2.3% gain coming in on that one. Bharti continues the momentum from yesterday. DLF and HDFC are some of the other stocks that are just holding in this market. In terms of losers, Ultratech, Dr. Reddy's, you got Powergrid reporting numbers today, 0.5% low on that one. Grasim and Dr. Reddy's all trading somewhat low, along with ITC also 0.5% cut. So that's the opening that we've seen so far. 44 odd points higher, 5786 is the kind of level that we're seeing in terms of the index. You also have ONGC, Bajaj Auto and HDFC, which are some of the other stocks that are actually showing some momentum right now.
Alright, just very quickly run through some of the mid caps that are active right now. We're seeing some gains, for instance, in Suzlon Energy, 6% higher. Jagran Prakashan, almost 5% up. That's a result reaction probably that's coming in. Phoenix Mills has started off on the positive side. Most of your stocks where the volumes are high are actually up and about today in trade. You've got, for instance, Unitech with a 2% gain, Reliance Communication again 2% higher. Let's pull up Idea if we can. Idea of course reports numbers today, so it's in focus. Arcom there, a 2% gain coming in. Idea also stronger by about 2%. We're looking at some pullback on a lot of mid-cap banks. Dena Bank 2.5%, Yes Bank up and about. Most of your banking stocks, UCO Bank, they're all trying to revive from their recent low. Some sign of buying seems to be evident. The one stock which is really a shock stock of the morning is Financial Technologies. Just take a look at what's going on here. There's a 25% drop. There's been some talk about tearing down a lot of trading avenues and positions. We'll try and get you more details on this in just a minute, but that's a massive cut that's coming in on Financial Technologies, and we're looking at a level of 402 right now on the stock. It's a massive, gigantic drop really coming in. Barring that big shocker, the rest of the market seems to be holding up fairly okay. Large cap space still a gain of about 0.7%. And just to reiterate, the best Nifty performers right now, Kane India, GAIL, Ambuja, Bharti still continuing its strong run, 2% up move coming in there. And most of the banks are trying to stage a bit of a comeback. PNB, IndusInd, HDFC Bank, all the banks are on the upside. State Bank of India, all of them on the upside. Nishal, we were discussing banks just before we went into opening. This major debate that's playing out right now about short-term rates and margin issues, etc. Do you think we are in for a big hit in the second quarter? And this bank fall that we're talking about, what have you been advising on it?
I think market is overreacting to banks basically, but because if we clearly look at it, even RBI in its last statement, and the governor very clearly stated saying that these are short-term measures. As soon as we get stability in the market, basically, we are going to reverse it back. Now, let's take it for an hypothesis, basically saying that it may get reversed maybe in a month or a 3 months time frame. Does the banks have the ability to pass on this 0.25% increase, 0.5% increase, whatever the cost basically which people are talking about? Already we have seen Yes Bank increasing its base rate by around 25 basis points. Most of the other banks have already increased the deposit side basically, and if they see that this is sustaining, they might go ahead and increase the PLRs, basically the base rate for banks. So I see that there is easily a possible number basically, and I don't see any reason that banks will not be able to pass through the cost increases. So margins, I don't see any impact happening. The second part comes is growth, and on the growth side, anyway, most of the people are not expecting the growth beyond 14-15%. As far as the credit growth is concerned. So I think that's not going to get really jeopardized as far as 15-16% is concerned. So I don't see much reason to be really worried about. The bond portfolios may take a bit of a hit because it's on the short-term side. The cost for some of the banks may go up, which are big on the wholesale borrowing like Yes Bank and all, but I think they are already pretty confident as you speak to the banks that they will be able to pass it on. So I think the 25-30% fall in most of the banks basically gives you a good opportunity to accumulate these banks at low levels.
So Nishal, in that sense, what's the call as far as some of the consumption stocks are also concerned? Because you've seen HUL almost at 725 of late. It's corrected quite sharply in the last couple of days as well. Today it's around about 613 or so is where it's been trading at. In terms of valuations, your sense as far as the consumption space is concerned and your advice to clients when we talk about this theme?
See, there is no doubt as far as the consumption space is concerned about the valuation side. It's very high. Now let's go back and look at it the similar kind of situation when it has happened way back in the 90s. 96 to 98, that was a similar time frame basically where the outlook on the political side was not very clear and polarization in the market started happening. That time most of these stocks hit a high of around 55, 56 times earnings. So most of these stocks are still not close to that. So all of them are quoting anywhere between 35 to 40 times or 30 to 35 times. So we have not hit the peak as far as valuation is concerned, but because of polarization, you are seeing that all the money which is there basically is getting dragged into this. So given that the outlook on the markets and the GDP is not very strong, I think holding on to your FMCG position is what we are recommending to clients.
Now the polar opposite, Nishil, the power or capital goods side of the market, whatever little we've seen numbers, for instance, from Reliance Infra, we've seen Larsen & Toubro so far and a couple of other companies. What is your reading there? Is there any sense, even for more longer term patient investors, is there any benefit in trying to buy these stocks right now?
What I think, Supriya, is basically that as far as capital goods companies are concerned, capital good companies who can get orders from abroad, something like what Larsen has already done. 25% of its order book is now coming from Middle East and other countries. Similarly, there are other companies like Kalpataru which has actually increased its guidance for the current year from 15% growth to 20% growth, and they are largely depending upon the international markets where especially the Middle East and the African markets where the growth is still very good because of oil being at whatever levels. So all the companies which are able to do this transition, moving away from the domestic markets to the international markets as far as the order book is concerned, I think that are places basically one should be looking at and going to. Valuation wise, yes, it is going to be challenged because 70-75% of the business for Larsen is domestic, and that is a challenge out there. But I think these are the companies one should look at.
What about Power? We were just in conversation with Mr. Chalsani of Reliance Power yesterday, and he was saying that when our receivable days are becoming better now, defaults hopefully going down from SEBs, etc. We know that Coal India has started signing some fuel supply agreements. We've seen numbers from NTPC. Again, I'm just trying to figure out if there's any sense in even trying to pick a bottom here for power stocks.
I agree with you. The recent guideline or the recent direction by the President of India to Coal India that they need to sign all the FSAs, if that is adhered to, and then given that CERC has already told most of the generators that they can pass through the increased cost because of the imported coal, I think that's a very viable solution which is the government is proposing. And if that gets implemented, there is definitely the bust kind of a situation which most of the stocks are right now showing. I think it could be an opportunity to accumulate these stocks. The second positive which has started coming into the power sector is that 4 or 5 states have already gone for restructuring of the loans, especially the SEBs. And so that's why the cash flows for most of the generators started improving. So I think it's a time basically where one should start exploring the power sector, trying to figure out if things have started improving. That is what our view has started emerging, but we are yet to do more work on this. So it could be a good opportunity to start accumulating. The stocks are, like, as I was saying, like showing a bust kind of evaluation for most of these stocks.
So Nishil, on the back of what we've been discussing in the last couple of minutes, what's your advice to clients in terms of the outlook as far as the domestic markets are concerned right now, and what's the strategy there?
My strategy has been very clear for the last 9 months now. It's a range bound market. You have to take your opportunities in a trading zone. 5500, I don't see it breaking on the downside. 6100, I don't see it breaking on the upside. Given that the rupee is under pressure, but we have got some macros which are improving simultaneously. So we have a GDP which is, we have a fiscal which is under control, inflation has come down. So I think there are, this is a transition phase, and I believe it's going to be painful. But that transition phase, I think, if one can pass through, I think times are going to be better from here.
All right, Nishil, on that slightly more optimistic note, we'll wrap up this morning's conversation. Thanks so much for joining in and sharing some of those views with us. That's it. We come to the end of this edition of First Trades.